close encounter, not of the third kind. James Creedon's here to explain. This is Media Watch. Welcome to you all, to one and all. So this close encounter between François Hollande and his ex.
That's right. Speaking of close encounters, they both crossed paths, except that they didn't in the UN. It's complicated. Le Monde has said it has called it the surreal encounter, rencontre, the surreal meeting between Royal and Hollande at the UN, and they say, you know, we're used to diplomatic incidents at the UN, but this isn't exactly what we were expecting. Now, basically, he was there.
So there's Ségolène Royal, who looks very well, I might say.
She does look very well, and she is the deputy head of the International Socialist movement. And so she was there in that capacity. Hollande was there in his capacity as the French president, as you would expect.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Hollande apparently wasn't aware that Ségolène Royal was there. This is the speculation. You can see here that he came upon her in the UN building. There he is with his back turned, consulting the Élysée people, trying to figure out what they're going to do, because here she is giving a press conference, and I suppose he realised that it wouldn't be a very wise thing to do, to cross her and have, you know, the bisou and all of this. And it's a tense situation. They're exes, they have 4 children,
you know,
Valérie
Trierweiler, kids
Trierweiler,
together. Can't they be adults and just say hi?
Well, you know what?
Bonjour,
And look what they did here. This is Le Guignol, which obviously picked up on it. But I agree with you, Mark. I think it actually would have looked a lot better if they'd walked past each other in the corridor. They said, hello, Ségolène, hello, François.
And all the international TV cameras would have like filmed it, and everyone would go, isn't that so French?
Isn't that mature of them?
Isn't that so French, you know? He's with someone else, he's kissing his ex.
And instead, you see him in the background having a massive kind of conference with his Élysée people.
That was his advisors want
looks bad.
A kick in the pants, I think.
They do. It just looks terrible. And quick look at the headlines on that. Voici is saying, Le Président zappe son ex. The president is ignoring his ex. So you can see the way
I think it's too easy to blame Valérie Trierweiler for all this, you know what I mean? Because clearly François Hollande has to grow a pair, as they say, and make a stand and do something. You know, he should say hello to his ex-missus, you know, and all that kind of stuff, because she's there on business as well.
That's right, that's right. And they're both representing France at some level. So
how's he going to sort out the country if he can't be an adult?
Well, you see, this is what the tweets are saying, Mark.
Yeah.
You're mirroring the social media.
No, go on, carry on, James,
let's move on to David Cameron.
This is funny.
Another head of government, I suppose, behaving a little bit badly. This was on the David Letterman show in New York. You see, they go over to New York and they just make idiots of themselves. I mean, pardon the expression, but I think it might be true.
The Letterman show is very good, though.
Right.
Not as good as Media Watch, but it's good.
Well, I thank you very much. I don't know about that. But in any case, David Letterman gave him a quiz on history, right? Gave him a quiz on history. And let's roll the pictures, because he didn't do too well.
Rural Britannia. Britain rules the world. Who wrote that? Do you know?
God, you're testing me there. Elgar, I'll go for.
Magna Carta literally means Great Charter, the Great Charter, and as we pointed out, the seeds of democracy. Rural Britannia, which is a beautiful refrain, based on a poem by James Thompson. Are you familiar with James Thompson?
Well, I am now.
I thought Elgar did the music, though. That's what I thought.
Well, you know what? I'm
not defending David Cameron.
I'm not English, and I'm not a prime minister.
But when he was asked about Magna Carta, he knew when the Magna Carta was signed.
Yes, he did.
1215,
and he knew where it was done.
He didn't know what Magna Carta meant.
That's right. He didn't know the Latin translation. I think it was, you know, he wasn't quite as bad as the headlines made him out to be. But let's just say, yes, it didn't look good.
The Americans, though, who watched it afterwards, they were quite impressed by him. They thought he was, you know, very, very, you know, they said no American politician would have taken questions like that without it being scripted, without it being, you know, pre-warmed up, and without being fed to them. So full marks for him for trying.
That's true.
I never vote for him, but there you go.
The Independent said that, look, he shouldn't have been left on the show in the first place. The Daily Telegraph was wondering, was he deliberately playing dumb to flatter his host? So there you go, different speculation. I'll show you a couple of tweets, Mark, because, of course, one of the big pieces of information of the evening is Benjamin Netanyahu at the UN holding up a rather basic photo of if I could find it, of a bomb.
And this is all bomb, wasn't it?
About the red line, and he drew a red line on the bomb to show Iran doing the right. Now, some people on Twitter, you know, being a little bit irreverent about what was a big media moment. That's Homer Simpson, and that's the Mario bomb. So I suppose some people responding to what they see as maybe not a great thing with satire. There you go. Satire.
I think it's funny. I think it's funny. I don't think the subject matter is funny, but that is funny.
Right, there you go.
James, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks,
James
Mark.
Creedon with Media Watch.